Hello, I'm Prendergast, author of The Gilded Edge, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my book. In The Gilded Edge, I uncover two amazing women in history, well known in their day, who meet at the beginning of the 20th century at the Bohemian literary colony at beautiful Carmel by the Sea on the Monterey Peninsula. Poet Nora Mae French and dutiful wife Carrie Sterling were two-thirds of a love triangle involving Carrie's husband George, the man at the center of the Carmel colony. Remarkably, all three of these people died of cyanide poisoning. But not all at once. Nora in 1907, Carrie in 1918, and George in 1926. Nora, beautiful, brilliant, with haunting eyes, was said to have started a suicide cult with her death. It spawned a media sensation, and imitators as far away as New York City killed themselves with poetry of hers in their pockets. In the beginning, you'll meet Nora at a turning point in her life. It's 1907. She's in her mid-20s, she's penniless, she's living in what's left of San Francisco after the devastating San Francisco earthquake leveled it all. And she's just realized she's pregnant by her married lover, Harry Lafler. And she writes him a letter describing to him her limited options in this situation. You also meet Carrie as she's climbing out of poverty, escaping the drudgery of working in her mother's boarding house on the seedy Oakland docks, through what seems like an advantageous marriage to George Sterling. But George turns out to be a chronically unfaithful alcoholic who wants to quit his day job as a real estate developer to become a poet. I like that there are two heroines in this story. Both are inspiring in their own way. Neither one of them is perfect. Nora was the granddaughter of an Illinois governor and the grandniece of famous Henry Wells, the man who founded Wells Fargo and American Express companies. So she started life with a silver spoon in her mouth. Carrie embarks on an adventure with her husband in Carmel, which was then in the middle of nowhere. Nora and Carrie's meeting there sets off a series of almost unbelievable events, resulting in that fateful night when Nora dies of cyanide poisoning in Carrie's arms. The crises these women face take place during a period of major upheaval in the country. The money that fueled the splendor of the Gilded Age has dried up. The catastrophic earthquake and the ensuing financial panic of 1907 brings the era of opulence to a screeching halt. This is also a time of rapid social change. You've got suffragettes agitating for women's rights. You've got immigrants coming into the cities for work. And then on the other hand, you have a backlash to all of this from men who want to keep things just the way they were. Throughout the book, I focus on the characters and their lived experience of these momentous events. You see Nora forced into work as a seamstress, and Carrie going from eating in five-star restaurants to having to cook the rabbits that George shot for dinner because they've run out of money for groceries. Surrounding these women are some familiar figures in literary history, among them Jack London and Upton St. Clair, but you get a little bit of a different look from them through the eyes of the women in their lives. It took me 7 years to write this book. I went from archives from California to New York to little towns in between. At points in the book, I take you to the archives with me. It's like a glimpse backstage. I show you some of the archival documents that blew my mind when I first uncovered them. You'll learn that the people in this book lied a lot. They lied to their friends, to the newspapers, and even to their own diaries in order to protect their reputations. I want the reader, you, to have a very kinetic experience reading this book. I've done my job if you say "holy crap" out loud 5 times before you get to the end at the incredible twists and turns of this true tale. And I hope you leave this book arguing with a friend over what really happened that night that Nora died. I'd love to hear what you think of The Gilded Edge.